Welcome back. This is our third episode of our mini series on Elevate and Lead, our new 8-session program that we're very excited to launch. I'm here with my friend Barbara. My name is Megan Swan. I am a wellness coach and consultant, and we're just debunking some myths that we think are going to help you feel more embodied in your leadership immediately.
Hey everyone, I am Barbara, founder and CEO of Be Bold Group, and I work with female founders develop their leadership capacity. And we are really diving in today on action steps. Like, we've really unpacked some deep problems that we've both felt, that we know that the women we work with have felt, and we know that our program is going to support you to address. But we want to leave you with some quick, actionable tips today. And one of the things we talked about in the last episode, if you haven't listened to it, go listen to it immediately, is this idea of leaving emotions at the door. This is something we've all heard. We know that this is something that is said multiple times in different spaces, in corporate spaces and professional spaces. This idea that you can only show up as a professional if you leave your emotions at the door. And both Megan and I are here to tell you that, one, that's a lie. And two, it's just not helpful. It's not helpful because we're human beings. If you are thinking and showing up in a way that asks you to leave your emotions at the door, you're actually leaving a part of yourself there, and it's causing you to feel this sense of this lack of authenticity. Like, it's causing you to stay on the hamster wheel. It's causing you to think about, oh, what if this person doesn't like me? What if this, like that, all of that, your emotions are part of you. And if you can learn to harness it, you can really show up as a leader that you want to be. So we have all been there. We've all been in this moment of either tension or conflict, either in a team meeting, in a one-on-one, or maybe after a performance review. And you're not feeling good. Like, you don't feel good. Your anxiety is like peaking. You can feel yourself shifting. And we really want to recenter ourselves in this mindset of you can do things in the moment to come back and to harness that. So Megan, I am, pretend I'm in this moment. Tension is high. I just finished this team meeting. What do I do?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think I have like 3 tangible ideas right off the go. But first, I just wanted to say on what you were saying, it's just this narrative that I think promotes us to being disconnected to the work that we're doing or to the interactions that we're having. And ultimately, that's going to be extremely damaging to our mental, physical well-being in the long run, where we're just feeling completely disconnected to our day-to-day. So it's channeling these feelings. It's giving space for them. It's finding ways to express them, not only so because, feelings and emotions are, emotion, energy in motion, and the body keeps score. Brilliant book. Highly recommend. So over time, if you're just blocking these emotions from escaping from your system, if you will, it's really going to cause both mental and physical issues, anxiety in the moment, sure, but in the long term, there really can be this negative buildup. So one is journaling, and maybe in that exact moment you don't have the space, but you can take it home with you, or develop a daily practice of just, free conscious flow. It doesn't need to make sense. You're not going to edit it. You don't even need to reread it. In fact, if it makes you feel more comfortable, you can burn it afterwards, just like full. And here, what is important is it's paper to pen, because when we're actually writing things down, it's crossing both hemispheres of the brain. It's much more powerful. So, maybe you need to embrace your inner bratty teenager and just, go at this individual and just get it all out. So instead of you pretending that you don't actually feel that way about the situation or the individual, and, holding different emotions. We, as humans, we're very complex. You can literally love and hate a situation
Mm-hmm.
and someone, like it's from where you're coming at it. So when we allow ourselves to feel all of these emotions and give ourselves permission and compassion, it's so freeing. And, it doesn't mean that you're a bad person, that you're not liking a situation or an individual so the journaling. Another one is just breath work. And, having a practice in the morning or the evening is great. You can go to breath work classes these days. There's all sorts of online, there's apps, so many resources, but super simple, just taking 10 deep breaths. Like maybe you excuse yourself, you go to the bathroom. When we are embodied and you can't take deep breaths without being embodied, you're going to have a lot more clarity of like what you're actually feeling or what is the most important thing to express in this moment in time, instead of getting caught up in sort of the more elevated, the sting of the situation, if you will. It reminds you, that your feet are on the ground. Like, what are your intentions? What are your true objectives? You don't need to be right in every situation. You're working to try and facilitate connection in others, and it's just not landing. Go back. It'll help you go back to your sort of purest intentions and desire in that moment in time. So journaling, bathroom, breathe session, breath work, and really just, it can be as simple as in that moment, taking a pause. I think particularly as women, when things seem like they're going awry, we just sort of like, it's like a verbal, just like random things come out of our mouths because we feel like we have to fill the space.
Yeah.
And we don't feel comfortable, like I think most men do, just taking a minute to gather our thoughts and be like, that can include a deep breath or whatever. But the point is, like, it just filling space with random words and feeling like the additional pressure that you need to have the answer in this exact moment is so unproductive, right?
Yeah.
So it might be, you know what, this has been really interesting. I'm going to have to get back to you tomorrow or next week. Like, give yourself that boundary. And also as leaders, like, I'm not exactly sure what the best course of action is at this moment in time. I'm going to need to take a moment. I need to do some research. Yes. I need to check in with other people. Like, just give yourself that space and permission to come back with a more embodied answer that's going to be more productive.
Yeah. I love that. I love my takeaway from that is even the word permission, and like, not just even filling the space, but how many times have we had something or a situation that made us uncomfortable, and then we go and start doing 10 other things? Like, you don't do that. Just sit in this discomfort. Take that moment for yourself. Take out to lunch, go eat something, go do something instead of jumping into more work so that you feel like you are having success. Like, just having that moment to yourself is success. Having with you, like, you just yourself and your thoughts and your opinions, and gather yourself. We need those moments. And Megan, you bringing up the idea of permission, I think was so powerful, because we really don't. We think that we have to constantly go, go, go. And I think it's important to just pause, be with yourself. And when we're thinking about growth and we're thinking about stepping into this next level, it requires so much discomfort, and it requires so much change, and it requires so many of these feelings of, I don't know if this is right. I don't know if, like, this is new learning. These are new conversations, new people. And there are going to be so many of these moments where it doesn't feel good initially, and knowing that that's okay, having that moment for yourself and then continuing to dive back in is so much more impactful than just feeling awful and terrible and plowing through it anyways. Because it's going to come up in your body, at some point. And I think those three things that you shared are not just helpful, but that word permission is so powerful, and we need to give ourselves that permission.
Yeah. And as good leaders, recognize when an individual on your team also needs, maybe can't give themselves that permission, but you
Yes.
give them that space. It's like, you know what, I can see you need to take a moment. Totally fine. Let's circle back on this and give other people that grace and that compassion. And again, like all the ways there are to lead. Leading with compassion is just so powerful.
I love that. I love that.
All right. See you in the next one.